What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. I want to react to a recent episode of Jason Whitlock's show where he had on Coach JB, right? And Coach JB was reacting to a shooting that happened on one of the junior college campuses. And this coach evidently was he was on that series called Last Chance U, right? And Coach JB really, uh, made me aware of some things about junior college that I didn't know, especially when it comes to like in California. Like he said that like California has more junior colleges in California than there are like in the whole United States. And a lot of those schools are in the neighborhoods that they're in dangerous neighborhoods, right? So it makes for a volatile and dangerous situation. And it's just crazy the way he explained it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the audio between Coach JB and Jason Whitlock, and I'm gonna give some of my commentary on it. But I just want to listen to like see like what the conditions are as far as these junior colleges are, and the difference between a California school, a JUCO in California, and a JUCO in other places around the country.
Read this morning that he had been shot. The Last Chance U coach, and I literally was like, Jason Brown's been shot. Do you know John Beam, the coach from Laney University that transitioned into athletic director? Do you know him?
Laney College, yeah, junior college. Yeah, we knew each other based on the show after he replaced my show when I left season 3 and 4. He became the season 5 coach at Laney College up in Oakland. So it was a junior college as well. Successful coach up there, Coach Marshawn Lynch. A lot of guys revere him as a coach and a community guy there. So we sat down at clinics a few times. We were introduced by mutual friends after the show, and that's how we kind of talked and stuff. But I did not I don't know him as a friend, just as a cordial professional. And so unfortunate craziness going on there. That was the second shooting this week in Oakland on a college campus, by the way. And very unfortunate. I've gotten phone calls obviously blown up because ESPN reported it as a no name. And so everybody thought it was me, of course. And of course, Twitter, wish it was you, that stuff. So the end of the day, though,
I saw Darnell's tweets. You're right. I mean, I saw that.
Yeah. I had to put a video out like, it's not me. Prayers to him and his family. I did get calls by buddies of mine that are up there, other head coaches that are in that conference. And what I was told is very disturbing and unfortunate. I don't know if it's true yet. I haven't seen the final report, so it'll all be allegedly at this point. But I heard it was a targeting situation where they walked into his office, apparently. And this is the layout. I've been to the campus, Jason. He was no longer the football coach. He's the athletic director now.
Yeah.
So he had an office that butts up against like the street, the neighborhood there in Oakland. And it's very, very far from the facilities. It's very, very far from anything. And it's real easy to go do something and not be seen and then just escape. And apparently that's what I've heard happen. And he's a good quarter of a mile from the facility, kind of way back.
All right. So Coach JB is just explaining like the setup, right? But I want to say like even coaches like on all levels, like even the lower levels, like when you have guys who are coaching like Pop Warner and all these leagues and the high schools and stuff like that, and then you got junior college. Like these coaches are making like a big sacrifice, and a lot of times they're getting underpaid, and they have to deal with other things besides, it's not just like you going there as a coach and you coaching football. These players, they come from situations that are not ideal, and then so you have to deal with like whatever issues that they're bringing to the table. Some kids don't have, may not have food at home. Some kids may not even have like power in their house and stuff like that. And so these guys are not just coaches, but then they turn into like social workers and stuff like that. And it's crazy. Then on top of that, you have to worry about, as a coach, you got to worry about fans really getting, like going overboard, like, and want to do things to the coaches and the referees after the game because they upset over a loss. When the whole purpose of these sports is to help the kids out, to have them doing something positive and constructive, and then also teaching these kids life lessons, right? And this right here, and if stuff like this start to happen, I think you're going to discourage people from wanting to go into certain neighborhoods and help kids out, and so let me get back to some more of what Coach JB had to say about this situation.
Apparently that's what I heard has happened. I don't know if it's true yet, and I've heard conflicting reports whether he's still alive or not, or he's fighting for his life. So hopefully he's still alive, fighting for his life, man.
Hold for 1 second, though, JB. Hold for 1 second. So this isn't some like random violence. You think that maybe it was like they intended to harm him?
That's what I was told. I don't know if it's true. It's allegedly, but I was told by another head coach, which I would hope he wouldn't tell me something like that. He told me that it seems to be a specific target that he walked into the office of Coach Beam. So I don't know if that's true or not, man. If that's the case, that's scary. That's scary.
It is scary, right? Because like I said, like what could a football coach like be doing, like, to make somebody want to go into, to sort them out, to seek them out, and want to go and shoot them? It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
In America, on a college campus where you should be safe, this happened when you're around kids and helping kids like he has his whole career, like we all have.
JB, let me ask you this. Like you were coaching out in Kansas, kind of out in the sticks and the boonies. California JUCO football, a lot of times it's connected to a major city. And so it's probably a little like where you were coaching, some rough kids came through the program, but the community wasn't rough. What he was dealing with, you got some rough kids and you're in a rough community. Just what is California junior college football? Seems different than what you experienced in Kansas.
Yeah, well, I was a head coach at Compton College, obviously, and playing there. Obviously, coached in junior college in California at 7 different places. So obviously, we didn't play the Northern California schools, but Oakland and Laney is basically Compton College in SoCal. We obviously Southern California. So I coach at San Bernardino Valley also, which has led the nation in death toll several times in San Bernardino, as well as Compton. And then I coach at Chaffey College, which is a more affluent area in Rancho Cucamonga, but still connected to a major city in the Inland Empire. And then I've coached at, East LA College, which is also in the hood. So I've coached only at junior colleges in the hood. Most of them are in the hood in California. There's 72 junior colleges in California, Jason, to help your audience. 72 that play football in California alone. There's 71 in the rest of the United States combined.
That is crazy. That's crazy. So he said that more colleges, more JUCOs in California than there are in the rest of the country combined, right? And then most of these colleges are connected to, these JUCOs are in neighborhoods that are not, inner city neighborhoods, whereas though when he coached at Kansas, like you get some rough kids, but you're taking them out of that environment. But now you're trying, in California, you not only have to coach the kids, rough kids, but you got to coach them in a rough environment. I had no idea that California was, it was like that in JUCOs.
So that tells you the size of California Junior College. Now, having said that, the Kansas JUCOs are a wholly different situation because they're in rural towns and they are scholarship based with dorms. So it's very controlled, more like a Division I situation. Junior college, you're living in your car, you're living at home. or if you're bringing out of staters into a hood type of city like Oakland or Compton, you got now Florida kids, Georgia kids with Compton and Oakland kids. And now you have to really be on your P's and Q's as the leader and the head coach, because now you have a mixture of kids, mostly inner city kids, let's be honest, that now you have to tie all that together.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. So you get kids from other states coming into California, Florida, and Georgia. And then if you got to be careful, because you don't want these kids to butt heads. Number one. Then number two, you don't want these kids to be influenced by the wrong people. You know, yeah, that's crazy. And then on top of that, they don't most of the time they not staying on campus, like he said. And in some of these other schools, you know, they had kids staying on campus, whereas though you can keep an eye on it, everybody. You know, that situation in California is just different.
It's great on one side that you can combine that and get everybody on the same page and hopefully teach them life lessons. And then it's also a very, very walk on eggshell situation where you don't know what's going to happen when you leave the campus. Because when you leave the campus, now these kids are on their own. And in California, they're looking for food. They're looking for safe haven. They're looking for females, whatever it may be. In Kansas, I got all eyes on you at all times. You're in the dorm room right here, and I got college coaches watching you, butts. Very, very different. So California is a whole nother animal.
Now, it just saying to me that like, you know, it would be a situation where you could keep an eye on these kids, man. And not only just keep an eye on them, but if you keep them in a dorm, then you know they safe, because you know they got food and they have shelter. You know, it will be easier to track these kids, man. And a lot of times when some of these kids, you got to protect them from themselves, and to do that, you got to be able to take them out of the environments that they, you know, where the bad influences are. You know, you got to be able to take those kids out of those environments and put them in a different environment, where as though they have to, you know, behave accordingly.
So John Beam, what he did there is what we do in California, and it's very, very, it's the hardest level to coach at, period. Hardest level, period, to coach at, because you get the kid that's getting kicked out of 4-year schools, or didn't make it out of high school, or, you know, got 3-4 baby mamas, got issues that you're having to now tie together and help that young man get to the next level. And that's why I call junior college football jail. You got to get in and out of it so you can get back to the 4-year level and get what your dream is. California is totally different. And Oakland was, again, I coach at Bourbon Day High School, Jason, in Watts, and the football field is literally on the fence line of the Nickerson Gardens projects here in Watts. And I've had guys jump over the fence, started shooting. We had to end the game. We've had all those scenarios that I've been a part of, and I know exactly where Laney is and what it's butted up against. And from what I've been told, that a guy walked in his office, did whatever happened, and then just went right into the hood behind it. And now they haven't found the shooter. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. Like I said, man, I just think that when you know, all of these different leagues and stuff like that, when you have kids playing organized sports, man, it's just basically, the thing is to teach these kids life lessons and to get them out of an environment that, you know, that is not productive for them, and to show them something different and to teach them a different way. But when, you know, when people are allowed to just walk onto a college campus and do something like this, especially to somebody who's there to help out the kids, it's just crazy. I don't know, you know, hopefully this guy is hopefully he pulled through. But it's just crazy. It's crazy. Yep. So that's my take on it. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.